My twin sister bragged about being the prettier one, so I showed her boyfriend the photos of her plastic surgery scars. Growing up, Celeste made sure everyone knew she was born 11 minutes before me, as if those minutes granted her superiority over everything else in life. She was taller by 2 inches, had clearer skin, and somehow convinced everyone, including our parents, that she was the genetic lottery winner while I was the consolation prize. "Thank God one of you turned out pretty," our aunt would say at family gatherings, pinching Celeste's cheek while barely glancing at me. By high school, Celeste had perfected the art of subtle sabotage. She'd borrow my clothes and return them stretched out. She'd tell guys I liked that I had a boyfriend in Canada. When I got asked to prom first, she suddenly needed emergency appendix surgery, which mysteriously healed the moment my date took her instead. The summer before college, Celeste announced she was getting her nose done. "Just a tiny adjustment," she told Mom, "to fix the bump from that volleyball accident." What volleyball accident? I thought, but said nothing. 2 weeks later, she had her lips done. The doctor said they'd look more proportional with the new nose. Then came the breast augmentation. "For confidence," she explained, as if confidence required surgery. I watched my sister transform into someone else entirely while our parents praised her natural beauty and worried about my plain features. The irony was suffocating. College provided blessed separation until winter break. Celeste arrived home with her new boyfriend, Harrison, a pre-med student who seemed genuinely smitten. At dinner, she monopolized conversation, describing how blessed she felt to be naturally beautiful. "Harrison loves that I'm all natural," she said, stroking his arm. "No filters, no makeup, no artificial enhancements." Harrison nodded adoringly. "Celeste has perfect features, like genetically flawless." I nearly choked on my water. The next morning, I found them in the kitchen. Celeste was showing Harrison our childhood photos. "See how I've always been the pretty twin?" She laughed, pointing at pictures. "Poor thing got Dad's nose and Mom's thin lips." That's when Harrison looked at me with pity. "At least you have a great personality," he said kindly. Something inside me snapped. "Actually," I said, pulling out my phone, "Celeste has something to show you." I'd been her designated recovery nurse through every procedure. I'd taken photos to document healing progress, as instructed by her surgeons. Pictures of swollen, bruised features, stitches, drainage tubes, the whole beautiful truth. "These are from last summer," I said, scrolling through the images. When Celeste was getting her volleyball injury fixed, Harrison's face went pale as he saw the before photos, my sister's original nose, small lips, and flat chest, alongside the gruesome healing process. "Those are fake," Celeste whispered, her perfect new face crumbling. "Are they?" I asked. "Harrison, do you see that scar under her left nostril? And the one behind her ear from the lift?" Harrison looked closer. "The tiny scars were visible if you knew where to look. You said you were natural," he said quietly. Celeste's eyes filled with tears, which was unfortunate, because crying made her surgical scars more prominent. "I can explain. You lied to me for 6 months," Harrison interrupted. "About everything." He left that afternoon. That evening, Celeste found me reading in my room. "You ruined my life," she sobbed. "No," I said without looking up. "I just showed him who you really are. I'm still your twin sister." The twin sister who spent 20 years telling everyone I'm the ugly one? She had no answer for that. 3 years later, I'm engaged to a wonderful man who loves my dad's nose and Mom's thin lips. Celeste is still single, still lying about her procedures, still introducing herself as the prettier twin. Last month, she called asking for the photos back. "I want to delete them," she said. "Can't delete the truth," I replied. "Besides, those scars are permanent. Some lessons are too."